Hello? No, I'm just about ready to start talking.
For the Knoxville, Nashville, their lead, their mean, their 700 horses of man and machine. They're full wide. Green flag, showtime at Knoxville Nationals are green.
Well, I'm just getting ready to start talking, so I don't know how I can help. Okay, in the top left, there should be like a little drop-down menu type thing. Alright, good evening everyone, and welcome to another night of On the Pole here tonight. We have, making sure I got, wait, this is not, setting up right. Why? Oh, there it is. Okay, so, alright, so we are set up right. Your grid for tonight for heat number 1 is as follows. Going to be Jeff Barker out there in front with Kurt Schatzer, their second. Trevor Guru, their third, with William Watson, their fourth. Dean Reynolds, their fifth, with Matt Barber there in sixth. Barry Wallace, their seventh, and Isaac Salas there in eighth. That is your grid here for your start.
Has North Dakota dial-up finally got working, Isaac?
Now get ready and set to go. Making sure I got sound here. And here we go. Green flag is out. We're down and away. Corner number 1, Jeff Barger out there for Can-Am Racing, getting out there to an early lead. Here comes that 23 of William Watson up there into the middle as they work down here in the corner number 3 and 4 here at Charlotte. Down here off of turn number 4, back down across the start-finish line. Down here across in the corner number 3 and 4. They're 3 wide back there for second through fourth. Watson's there in the middle. Hang on. And Dean Reynolds there having a problem back there in the 79. Get a little bit of contact there on the card. It seems to straighten it all out. The 218 there. Kurt Schatzer ends up in problems, losing a wheel. He ends up down there across the front stretch. Now here we go down here in the corner number 1. Once again here with 5 to go here for the 358 and big block modifieds. This is the Full Throttle Motorsports sponsored divisions. I want to thank them for coming on as a sponsor for these modifieds. As they work down here through the back stretch, you can see two of the team's drivers out there. 1-2, Trevor Guru and William Watson. Work down there in the corner number 1 and 2. Back down there. Look out. Here comes the 5 of Salas. He works his way there. Down there, down through the backstretch. Back down into 3 and 4. Here comes Salas once again down there on the inside. Going to try to hold his line down there off the corner. It's going to be there of Trevor Guru. 2 laps to go. They head down here into corner number 1. I'm doing well there, Turnkey. How's everything with you? We're here tonight with the Coast to Coast Racing League here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. And if you're not watching over at Coast to Coast Racing Network. I'm assuming you're watching here at Flinker Farm TV. These drivers hang on down through off of the corner. Hanging on to what they can. Trevor Drew out there in front. Watson, there's second. Barker, yeah, back here in fourth as they come to an end here in heat number 1. Heat 1 results coming in. Trevor Drew as your winner. William Watson there second. Isaac Salas there third. Jeff Barker fourth. Matt Barber there fifth. Dean Reynolds sixth. With Barry Wallace there seventh. And Kurt Schatzer in eighth. All right, and then heading out here for heat number 2. Billy Roberts there out front. Randall Dixon there in second. Starting third. That's going to be Michael Vitale with Anthony Morano there in fourth. Andy Payton there in fifth. David Tomansky there in sixth. And Bob DeGood there in seventh. So this is heat number 2 coming to you. Getting ready for the start. Everything's sounding good so far from what I can tell. Down here through off the corner. And the corner number 1. Billy Roberts out there getting that start. The 213 on Michael Vitale there in second. Here comes Randall Dixon there in third. Head on here in the corner number 3 and 4. Back out there onto the front straightaway. Up there against the top side, that is the 213 of Michael Vitale. Underneath him is the 66 of Billy Roberts. Down here out of corner number 2 down the backstretch. Anthony Morano sitting third right now. Vitale there above him. He's going to hang it down there on the inside. Watching some good 2, maybe 3-lane racing going on here tonight as they come down here through off of turn number 2. Down here off, out through this, into corner number 3. Michael Vitale getting the lead. Down there on the inside, getting ahead of Billy Roberts. Things are stacking up. You got Randall Dixon starting to come into the picture there in that 011 as he gets into the back of Vitale. Vitale hanging on to it. Great job there. They come down here in the corner number 3 and 4. Working there off the start-finish line down in the corner number 1. Back here around off of 2. Morano working on the high side. Roberts down there on the inside. Vitale there in third. Payton there in fourth. Randall Dixon ended up falling back into about 6th now. He works down there on the bottom side underneath Bob DeGood. David Tormansky down there in 7th as they work here off the backstretch. 3 laps to go. They're up there on the high side for Vitale. For Morano as Vitale's hanging in there down through the middle of the racetrack. Billy Roberts doing what he can to try to hang on to the win here in heat number 2. And head on down here in the corner number 3. Up there on the high side, Anthony Morano. Morano getting the run down there on the inside. It's going to be Morano taking the white flag. They got Billy Roberts, up there on the top side. Here comes Anthony Morano. He's going to get it up there. And it might be Morano's race to win down there on the bottom side, coming there off the corner. Morano will take the win with Roberts there second, Vitale third. And we wait on our results to come in. So heat 2 results. It's going to be Anthony Morano, Billy Roberts there in second, Michael Vitale third, Andy Payton there in fourth, Randall Dixon there in fifth, Bob DeGood there sixth, David Tormansky there in 7th. Your starting grid for heat number 3 going to be Brian Moore out front. Harold Klump second. Dylan Kinsey will roll off in third. Sam Bachman will roll off fourth. Fifth will be starting Ryland Banks, with John Dubai in sixth and Clay Christopherson back here in seventh. So this is heat number 3 coming to the line here. Head off down here in the corner number 1. Now we get going. Looks like it's 78 or 76 there of Ryland Banks, sorry. You're in to get rolling as we see Christopherson down here on the inside. Rolling down here in the corner number 3 and 4. The 007 of Sam Bachman up there on the high side. The 055, Brian Moore coming around, taking that flag there. We got 7 laps to go here in heat number 3. They are 3 wide there, tight bunch here as they roll down through turn 3 and 4. Back here off of 4. Back down that front straightaway down into corner number 1. They're looking there at Ryland Banks there in the number 7th spot. They come rolling off there. You got the 2 there. Harold Klump out front. Everybody super tight as they come here off the corner. I see them up there at the top side of Sam Bachman looking to see if he can get up there to Harold Klump. Down there on the inside of Brian Moore. Harold Klump is your leader at the moment as they roll down the backstretch here into corner number 3 and 4. Off of 4 they come. Moore down on the bottom side. Klump up there on the high side. And Bachman there in the middle as they come through turns 1 and 2. Still 3 wide as they roll off of here. Down that back straightaway once again. Harold Klump out there up on the top side trying to hang on as Bachman's getting that line down there on the inside. Getting that inner lane running here as they come down here into corner number 1 once again. 3 wide back here, 2nd through 4th here as Harold Klump now going to make a run here at the bottom of Sam Bachman as they come down here into corner number 3 and 4. Bachman back out front, Klump back out front, but no, Bachman's going to get there for Full Throttle Motorsport as he's up there on the high side. Klump down there on the inside as they roll here off of 2. 2 laps to go. Now 1.5 laps to go. They work down here in 3 and 4. Down here off the stretch down into corner number 1. And down the back stretch, it is Sam Bachman out there leading the way. Got Klump there 2nd. Kinsey then 3rd. Christopherson up there in the 4th. They work down there, but no, it's going to be... Well, I gotta wait here. The 21 of Dubai, he's showing red on my screen for something. So for heat number 3, it's gonna be Sam Bachman, Harold Klump in 2nd, Dylan Kinsey there 3rd, Clay Christopherson there 4th, Brian Moore 5th, John Dubai in 6th with Ryland Banks in 7th. We'll be back after these short messages as the drivers warm up for the feature.
dollars that come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them for others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and led to the spinal cord injury. In the hospital 8 months. That got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae in my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they've done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in the race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
All right, we're back here for your starting grid from RSN Trackside. Trevor Garou out there in front. Anthony Morano there in second. Sam Bachman rolls off tonight in third with William Watson fourth. Billy Roberts fifth. Harold Klump in sixth. Isaac Salas in seventh. Michael Vitale there eighth. Dylan Kinsey in ninth. Jeff Barker there in 10th. Andy Patton there in 11th. Clay Christopherson will roll off there in 12th. 13th tonight. They're going to be rolling off Matt Barber with Randall Dixon there in 14th. Brian Moore 15th. Dean Reynolds there 16th. Bob DeGood 17th. John Dubai in 18th. Barry Wallace 19th. In 20th will be starting David Tormansky with Ryland Banks back there in 21st. Kurt Schatzer will roll off in 22nd tonight. That is your starting grid here. They get set, ready to rock and roll for the main event here. 30 laps the distance. All right, here we go. Down here across start-finish line. Trying to figure out what's going on here. It seems like I lost my audio for the race. Not sure why. Down here into corner number 1 they go. Give me a moment here. We gotta kind of move that for a moment here as I work on something. I'm unsure what exactly happened here. As coming here off of 4. I know you guys don't have any type of indication yet of what's going on. We got the 75T out front with Murado there second from what I can make out. We've lost audio here from our speakers. Trying to figure this out here. Not sure what's going on. Looks like we're under caution. And it seems like we've lost audio. Oh, look here. Looks like it was Sam Bachman that had issues. Now we've lost... give us a moment as we have issues here. Unsure what's going on. We just lost our camera feed here. Bear with me here as we get things back up and running. Alright, where did you go now? Unusual here. I've never had this happen before. Bear with me here. We're getting back in here. Laps to go, another caution out. All right, there we go. Now we got it figured out. Head on down here out of the corner. Down here through turn number 1 and 2. Watson as your second place driver. Vitale there third. Dylan Kinsey in fourth. Lights go out. Going to be going back. Green flag racing this time by. Sorry for the few hiccups that have been plaguing me here a little bit on the stream tonight, but we got it straightened out now. We're good to go. Thursday Night Thunder away here at Coast to Coast Racing League for the Full Throttle Motorsports Dirt Modified Series. 358s and big blocks here tonight. Currently, you're watching the 358s down here around Charlotte as they head back down into corner number 1. Down there on the inside, hang on to it as Kurt Schatzer is there. Looking down there, Vitale looking to the inside of Watson. They come down here off the corner 4. Back down across the straightaway in the corner number 1 and 2. Up there to the high side, Trevor Garou up there in front. Leading the way, William Watson there second. Michael Vitale there third. Fourth going to Dylan Kinsey, 7 laps to go. Hey, driver really put it down here. Down off the corner they go. Six laps to go now as they head off down the corner in the corner number 1 and 2. Vitale out there in a third right now, but he's got a battle going on right now between him and Dylan Kinsey, along with the 23 of William Watson, as Watson's way up there against that outside lane. Just look how close they are to that wall coming down there through the front stretch and in through corner number 1 and 2, up there against that outside wall. Not really seeing anybody really trying to get anything going on the inside lane right now. And now we got the 23 there of Watson trying to slider line to see if maybe he can get something found to try to get up there. Now he's back up there through the top of 1 and 2. There comes Vitale down there on the inside. Dean Reynolds up there on the high side at number 79. Trying to get something worked out there as they work down here in the corner number 1 and 2. You can see that dust start to fly here just a little bit as this track dries out. Down here in the corner number 3 and 4, up there along the top side for Garou and Watson. Watson under fire from Vitale. If Vitale can get a run down there on the bottom side, cannot quite get there. Gets a pretty decent run there off of corner number 2, down here in the corner number 3 and 4. Final lap. Here, final for Vitale now as he comes there off the bottom side. He'll hold on to third. Looks like Garou will hang on to first. Checkered flag out. Great job here by these drivers. You look there. Watson second. Garou first. Come along here. Park out on the front stretch. All right, let's get our interviews underway. Michael Vitale, our third place finisher. Yeah, oh crap, I didn't have that open completely. Let's get here with it. Are you going to cooperate or not? All right, there we go. All right, here we go. Vitale. Good evening, there, Vitale. How are you?
How you doing, Figure?
I'm doing well. How's that track feel in the 358s out there?
I tell you, it felt pretty good. I was getting a little hairy up on the top for me there, so that's why I switched it up at the end and figured I'd try something on the bottom. She gripped.
Well, I noticed that it seemed like the best line might have been up there against the top side, up against the wall, if you could hang there.
Yeah, it was just getting a little sketchy for me, so I figured I'd try something different.
I can understand that. It gets sketchy for me running up there against the wall, too. That wall likes to reach out and grab you.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you got sponsor shout-outs. Anybody want to thank for third place?
Yeah, I want to thank all the boys over on the team, Billy, Jake, Randy, you for the broadcast coast to coast for putting the show on week in and week out, and congratulations to Trevor and William for a great race.
All right. Well, you did a great job there, and you coming out for the... Are you running all night long?
Yeah, I'll be out there tonight.
All righty. Well, we look forward to seeing you in the big blocks coming up.
All right, thank you, Blake.
All righty. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, I'm Michael Vitale, and I will get with Watson, our second place finisher. Good evening there, Watson. How's it going?
Good, you bet.
It's going pretty good. Notice you didn't quite have enough grip up there to try to chase down Guru.
Yeah, I think my left front was a little bent in. I couldn't react fast enough when, I don't know what happened. And Rana, this ball just sucked him in and pushed him back out. Nothing he did wrong, but it messed up on the front pretty bad. So I had, dealing with that, it felt like it, after the restart right there at the beginning, I didn't feel like it was too much trouble. And then as the race went on, got slicker, car just not going there.
Yeah, it's tough whenever you can't avoid things out of your control, and I've seen that wall just reach out and grab people without it, without even thinking twice.
Yeah, that was, watching him right in front of me, that was crazy, because he looked like he's going to be fine, and he just sucked him in.
Oh yeah, it happens. So, you got sponsor shout-outs. Anybody want to thank for second place here in the 358s?
Yeah, teammates at FDM, Smart B Shops, Super Performance, GoodPacks.com, D&D Car Series, Vortex Graphics for the wraps, Shaggy TV, Coast to Coast, and you for broadcasting it.
Alrighty, well, congrats on second place, and we'll see how well you do in the next series coming up.
I appreciate it.
Alrighty, congrats on that second place, and hopefully your next race can go maybe a little less uneventful.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
All right, I was Watson, our second place driver. Now we'll get with our winner here. Good evening, Trevor. How's it going?
Good, yourself?
It's going pretty good. Pretty much had that one locked up from the start, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't know, man. William and Vitale there were pretty quick. Saw Vitale was making the middle bottom work in there and kind of got worried, but yeah, just on the top early in both corners and felt good. Kept it up there and yeah, car felt great up there. That's where I'm most comfortable, and I was definitely not going to get off the top anytime soon. So definitely take another win this season and carry this momentum into big blocks.
We'll see. We'll see how well you do with that number 75 there going into the big blocks.
Yes, sir.
You got sponsors, shout-outs, anybody you want to thank for getting a victory here in the 358s?
Yeah, I would just want to give a shout out to my teammates at FTM. Give a shout out to Bart, Vitale, Dean, Kinsey, Matt, and Kurt, all on some good runs tonight. Vertex Graphics for sponsoring us over at FTM. JRB Designs for this run. Dean Reynolds with the Super Dirt Car Series. Swan Speed Shop Expert Installations. Sam Wakanda Sets. To you for doing the broadcast, and everyone at Coast to Coast.
Alrighty, well, congrats there, getting that win, and can't wait to see what's in store for you the rest of the night.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
That was Trevor Guru, our winner here of the 358s. Stay tuned as we get ready. Stay tuned as we get ready for the 350 or for the big blocks. Don't go anywhere. More racing action to come.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a bit of a
hiatus, so let's get tonight when we talk about it.
These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. we can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and led to the spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and it got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life and it's the lives of racers everywhere is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion, trying to be at the
hiatus, so let's get. Tonight we talked about it.
All right, getting ready here as qualifying finishes up for the big blocks here tonight. Getting ready for heat number 1. Here in just a moment is my, that seems to be working. I don't know. Yep. All right. So, qualifying has ended. Getting ready for the first heat of the big block. I got 14 drivers signed up here for the big block mods. All right, here we go. Here's heat number 1. Michael Vitale getting out there on pole with Jeff Barker second. Randall Dixon will roll off there third with Sam Bachman starting fourth. Harold Klump in fifth with Brian Morris starting in sixth with Bob DeGood in seventh. That is your starting grid here for heat number 1. We get set here to rock and roll. Down through the backstretch, you got the 213 of Michael Vitale with Jeff Barker to his outside. Randall Dixon there third. Sam Bachman, as we said, will be rolling off there in fourth. Going to be interested to see what these drivers do here as the race progresses. Will we see similar to what we did with the 358s where they stay mainly to the top side up there against that outside wall? Or will somebody be able to get the extra horsepower of these big blocks to fight down there on the inside and get that bottom lane to kind of give them some headway? That is yet to be seen here as we get going with the Full Throttle Motorsports Big Block Modified 358 Showdown, as they could run either one here in this series right here. So yes, the last series you watched was just the 358s, but this one with the big blocks, they can run the 358 if they want to. I don't know if you'd want to here at a big track like Charlotte, though. I don't see that being feasible here as Vitale brings it around here off of corner number 4. Waiting for that green flag to drop. It will do so. They are down and away. Here they go into corner number 1. 8 laps to go for the distance. We see Vitale down there on the inside. What a great run there by Barker, getting that outside lane to work early. As he comes there out of corner number 3 and 4. Back down here into corner number 1 and 2. Up there to the top side is that the 513 of Jeff Barker. As they head out through here off of corner number 4, back down across the front straightaway, down into corner number 1 and 2. Vitale down there on the inside, making that inside work as Randall Dixon's back here in third. He's got company there from Sam Bachman. Bachman's getting down there on the inside, and it looks like that inside lane is getting a little bit of production right now. You see that 007 there rolling off the bottom side up there to the top. Hanging on to it here, they roll off the corner, back down across the front straightaway into corner number 3 and 4. Jeff Barker there second, Vitale there in front. Bachman there third. Come down here out of the corner. You got Vitale there in front. Barker there second. Bachman third. Vitale, as we said, out front. Randall Dixon hanging on to the 4th place right now. They rolls down there into the corner. Little bounce out of that number row 11 here tonight. And hang on down through here. Michael Vitale getting the win here in heat number 1. Jeff Barker second. Bachman third. And the rest of the results slowly going to come in here. Each driver really wanting to put on a show. Here this. All right, here we go. Trevor Guru there. Watson there in third. Roberts there fourth. Lights are out. We're going to be getting out there to the front. Billy Roberts back here third. Watson there fourth. Here our grid for... Here's our grid. Anthony Murano, Trevor Guru, Billy Roberts third, Watson fourth, Dean Reynolds fifth, Dylan Kinsey there sixth, Andy Patton there in seventh. Your results out of heat number 1, we forgot to bring them up. Michael Vitale, Jeff Barker, Sam Bachman, Randall Dixon, Harold Klump, Brian Moore, and Bob DeGood. Well, that was your heat 1. I got 8 to go here in heat number 2. Down here through turn 3 and 4. Hang on to it. They are back out here onto the front straightaway. Murano getting a great run up there on the top side, but he's got Guru right there behind him. Here comes that 23 there of Watson down there on the inside underneath Guru. If they can make it happen down there on the bottom side. Billy Roberts hanging on to the lead right now as they come here off of 4. 3 wide, very tight down there in the corner number 1. Guru there in the middle with Murano up top. Watson making that bottom side work here. He gets down there trying to get around off of the corner. Yeah, see that? Six laps to go, now 5 laps to go. They work on down around. The driver really putting on what they can here as they come off of corner number 3 and 4. Back around here onto the front straightaway. Roberts out there in front. Watson there second. Murano third. Guru there fourth with Dylan Kinsey there fifth. Back off here into the back stretch. Back here on the corner number 3 and 4. 4 laps to go. Soon to be 3 as they work here off up to 4. Down through the front stretch. Down here in the corner number 1 and 2. Murano up there on the outside trying to hang on to second, but Watson is there as well. Watson's trying to get that down there. Hang on. Guru way down there on the bottom side. He's trying to make that bottom side work. And so far, it's Watson there hanging on to second place. In that third, in that middle lane, Murano trying all he can up there on the top side, way up into that outside flap. Here comes Guru. He's going to try to hang on there with Watson. Guru down there way on the bottom side. Final lap here as they come through 1 and 2. Still battling 3 wide there, 2nd through 4th. As they come here through turns 3 and 4. Who's going to get that bite that they're looking for? It's going to be, holy crap, that close. There's going to be Guru in 2nd, Watson in 3rd, with Morano 4th. As what it looks like we're going to have here as these drivers enter warm-ups here. Your 2 finish results. Billy Roberts out there getting the win. Trevor Guru 2nd. Watson there 3rd. Anthony Morano will finish 4th in Heat 2. Dylan Kinsey there 5th. Dean Reynolds in 6th with Anthony Patton there in 7th. And we'll be back after a short message here for warm-ups.
These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and it got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash, found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken, I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they've done for me. This last Sunday I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
All right, here we go. Getting ready for the start here. We've lost audio once again. Not sure why. Man, oh man, that dang thing giving me a problem tonight. I don't know why it's giving me such problems. All right, here we go. Got sound back. Hey, driver coming here through off of turn number 1 and 2. Back down that back straightaway. We ain't quite get the grid here, but we do have a green flag. Hey, driver try to get back up down here. 26 laps to go. Here, Guru out front, Vitale there in second. Watson now up to second. He works there on the top side. Down here out of corner number 3 and 4 they go. You can see Watson there. I'm sorry, 1 and 2 down here in the 3 and 4. Watson down there on the inside trying to get up there to Guru. Guru looking to try to make a clean race here to try to get... Whoa, yellow flag is out. Randall Dixon, Aaron Klump, and Anthony Morano all involved. Now we watch it back here at the back. Try to figure out where this all happened. Now Harold Klump went... Oh, Anthony Morano went around and start with Morano. We'll have to go back and re-watch that once again to see what exactly happened. It looked like it started with Morano. And we see Morano up there against the top side, just ends up there, and then just gets pummeled from behind, and they just stack up. Somebody lost a wheel. I want to say that might have been a Klump, but I'm unsure of that. Try to see there if I can get a better look. Nope, it's not Klump. I don't know who lost the wheel. Driver point here, try to get a little bit fixed up here. 23 laps to go. Caution number 2 on the board, if I'm looking at it right, or is that caution number 1? Caution number 1. Driver's putting on a great show here for you guys at Coast to Coast Racing Network. I see there, Guru out there in that number 75. Down there on the bottom side. Watson up there in second. Vitale there third. Barker in fourth. Bachman in fifth. So you have Barker in fourth. Bachman in fifth. Up the corner they go. Green flag back in the air down here in the corner number 1. Everybody stacked up. You got 7 of Sam Bachman down there on the inside trying to fight there beside Vitale as they work down here in the corner number 3 and 4. You got that 513 of Jeff Barker back there as well as they all battle side by side here coming off the corner. In the corner number 1, we got Bachman there, as we said, down there in 4th, lurking down there below Vitale. In the corner number 3 and 4. Brian Moore around back here towards the back. And as broke, he can't move. See if caution comes out. Caution will come out for Brian Moore. And we'll see what happened here as he's down there on the bottom side at 55. Coming here off the corner, and he gets tagged by Harold Klump, and then again by the 66 up into the outside wall. And that just broke the car enough that it couldn't be moved. Unfortunate break there for Moore. Got Harold Clump down there on pit lane as well, trying to get things situated. Guru, still your leader. You got Vitale there in, or I'm sorry, not Vitale. You got Watson there in second. Vitale's third. 20 laps to go here at Charlotte for the big blocks. Now, the 358 I thought was a little bit cleaner than this. But they also are they also have less power than what these big blocks do. So these drivers are trying to harness that horsepower onto the track here. Large track, large blocks, it can get a little hairy at times. So they're side by side getting lined up. You got Morano way back there at the back. 20 laps to go, as we said, for the distance. They're side by side. Lights are out. We're going to be going back green flag racing this lap. And we see Moore ended up pulling off, or we see the pace car getting ready to pull off. Head on out, start here. Watson up there in second. Vitale there third. Bachman there fourth. Trevor Guru there out front in first. I got Watson second, hanging on back down through here off of the corner. Vitale back there in third. Head on off. It looks like Watson's trying to make a run at Guru up here at the front. 17 laps to go. Trying to see what excitement we have down here on track. Gary, you got the 513 and the 011. There's the 66 of Billy Roberts. You got the 513 of Jeff Barger working down there below Randall Dixon in that 011. You got the 87 getting a little bit of a punt there. That's Andy Patton from Randall Dixon as they come there off the corner. Oh, no! Whoa, what a move there. 639 ends up sideways. Great heads-up driving there by the drivers behind him as he ends up down across the track. Out front, William Watson now trying to battle with Guru as he's down there on the bottom side. Guru up there on the top side. He said that's where he feels most comfortable. He worked down here down the back stretch. Now Watson was up there to the outside. Guru taking a little bit of a slider. And work down here in the corner number one. Up there way against that outside wall. I don't think there's much room for error as they move along down through there. I would see Watson down there in second. Vitale there third. Bachman there fourth. Dean Reynolds fifth as they roll on down through here. Up to the top side. Watson ends up a little bit sideways. Guru drive back around underneath him. They're up there. Here comes Vitale working there in third. Underneath him, though, is Sam Bachman in that 7. And work down here off of turn 1 and 2. 11 laps to go. A little farther back, got Jeff Barker in that number 513. Trying to get up there to Randall Dixon. In front of them is Andy Patton in that 6th spot. Driving at number 87. And right behind Barker, you got Roberts. And that 66 down there on the inside. Trying to survive, it seems. And what a move there for Bachman. And he comes up there in front of Reynolds. Reynolds sitting there in a 5th. Hey, driver really starting to put the pedal down here, trying to find that extra grip. Bachman there in 4th. Vitale there 3rd. Watson in 2nd with Guru there front. And working on down here off the corner. Got Guru still your leader. 8 laps to go here in the main event of the big blocks. Dean Reynolds there, Andy Patton there, 6th. Randall Dixon there, 7th. Jeff Barker, 8th. Roberts there, 9th. Anthony Morano there in 10th. Harold Klump, 11th. Down here, off of corner number 2. Vitale there in 3rd. Hey, drivers, bringing on back down here. You got 6 laps to go. Guru out front, way up there against that outside wall. Watson there in a 2nd. Other drivers just trying to find a lane that works for them. As you see here, Randall Dixon's trying to make a run on Andy Patton for a position. Working there off of turn number 4 down here in the corner number 1. Andy Patton up there to the top side. Whoa, looks like Reynolds may have got into the outside wall just a little bit there in that number 79. As they work down through here, looks like the 87 is going to hang on there to that 6th spot for now. 4 laps to go. They're worked down here in the corner number 1 and back onto the backstretch. Dixon going to the high side, trying to see if he can gain that momentum that he needs. Watson still trying to gain that momentum he's looking for. Way up there against that top side. Ruru so close to the outside wall he can reach out and touch it. And Watson doing a great job trying to follow his track and get up there. Maybe trying to not to follow them exactly. Bachman, though, he's trying to get up there to battle with Vitale. He's there in for it. Vitale, they're 3rd. Bachman going down there to the bottom side. 2 laps coming around. White flag in the air. 1 more lap to go for Trevor Guru out front here with Watson there in 2nd. Vitale 3rd. Bachman sitting for it, looking to see if he can get a good run here to try to make some sort of last-ditch effort to get down there below Vitale and get the drive off the corner. Cannot quite get it done. It's going to be Vitale for 3rd. As Guru takes the win here. And come there off the corner. Great job by the drivers here for your big block mods. We see them all getting lined up there. Great job there by Guru, Watson, and Vitale. Guru and Watson finished 1-2 once again here tonight. Gonna get with Vitale, our 3rd place finisher. Good evening there, Vitale. How's it going?
What's up, Big? Got a deja vu here. 1, 2, 3 again.
Yeah? I couldn't remember who got 3rd in the 358s, but I knew who had 1st and 2nd.
Yeah, 3rd was me.
So, are you planning on keeping this trend going all night, or what?
I don't know. I'm going to give it a shot, but, like I said, hats off to them guys up front. They were fast. Just did what I could do tonight.
Well, it seemed like you had a little bit better control of the big block here than what you did of the 358 a little bit.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
How slick did this track slicking off at all, or was there pretty much grip a good bit of places?
You have to the throttle pretty good because you spin the tires real easy. So, like I said, I was more focused on just trying to keep the car straight and keep the tires under me.
Pretty much hit your marks.
That's it.
Well, you did pretty good keeping Bachman there at bay. I mean, he seemed like he was trying.
I know he's going to race me hard every time. He's going to race me clean, but he's going to race me hard. So, I was fortunate enough to hold him off.
Well, you got sponsor shout-outs. Anybody you want to thank for 3rd place here in the big blocks?
Yeah, I want to give a shout-out to my wife for letting me do this day in and day out. Billy Roberts over here is Unlimited, my teammate. Randy, Jake, my brother Anthony, and my other teammates. You for doing a broadcast. Coast to Coast for giving us a week in and week out. Place to run. Appreciate it.
Alrighty, well, congrats there. Getting the 3rd place here once again. And we'll see you in the big blocks, in the Pro Late models if you can go and increase that at all.
I'll give it a shot.
Alrighty. Well, good luck, Vitali. We'll see you here in a little while.
Alrighty.
All right, that was Michael Vitali, our third place finisher. Now we'll get with William Watson. Good evening here, Watson. How's it going?
Good about you?
And it's going. You got second place once again, falling behind Guru.
Yeah, it's a good race. I finally caught some ground on him. And just put a slider. He got tight, and his neck hurt really, really bad when he cut underneath me. Like, somehow we were in, hopped off the ground. We were about to have a good race going there. And then afterwards, had to regather and try to figure out what the car was going to do. And all that kind of thing, but just it wasn't enough time.
Yeah, I mean, you did a fairly good job getting up there into second and holding on to it. Just unfortunately, like you said, there wasn't enough time to try to get back up there to battle Guru. I mean, you gave it your all, though.
Yeah, it's like an ask for.
So, well, you coming out in the Pro Late Models, try to take them down in them?
Yeah, I just told him before you pulled me up. I said, he said he's never had the sweep. I said, well, you ruined mine last time. I ruined yours.
Alrighty, well, we'll see how well you do. You got sponsor shout-outs. Anybody you want to thank for the second place here in the big blocks?
Yeah, teammates at Gym, Swan Speed Shops, Super Performance, Scriptex.com, Indoor Car Series, Vortex Cars for the Wraps, Taggy TV, Coast to Coast, and you first host, Rebecca.
Alrighty, well, congrats again on second place, and we'll see how well it goes here as we move forward.
I appreciate it.
So that was second place finisher William Watson. Now we're getting with our winner, Trevor Guru. Trevor, how's it going?
Good, you?
Going pretty well. I think you're getting a target on your back tonight.
Yeah, man, gonna try and go for the sweep. It's definitely not gonna be easy. There's a lot of fast guys that run these pro lates, so it'll be pretty cool to sweep the night here. Never done it before, so definitely would like to, accomplish that feat.
I don't think too many here coast to coast really have done the sweep on Thursdays.
No, I know my teammate Anthony Morano has done it a couple times, I believe, and then Isaac Salas, I think, has done it a couple times. There's definitely, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe like 2, 3, 4 guys that have done it. It's definitely not easy to do.
No, not with the competition you guys have here coast to coast.
No, definitely not. There's definitely some stout fields, so, I mean, even to be able to win in this league, man, it feels good.
All right, well, you got sponsor shout-outs. Anybody want to thank for the big block win tonight?
Yeah, just all the guys at FTM. Give a shout-out to my teammate Byer. We kind of net-coded there as I was crossing them up, and just want to apologize for that. We were fixing to have a pretty good race, but I think I kind of just ruined his momentum there. Did not mean to. So apologize to him. But yeah, all the guys at FTM, Dean Reynolds with the Super Dirt Car Series, Expert Installation, Swan Speed Shop, Semicon Sets, JRB Designs, Vertex Graphics, everyone behind the scenes who puts this stuff on. Give a shout out to my wife for letting me sit here for a couple hours in a race, and big shout out to her, big shout out to you, Fleer, for giving us a broadcast. Looking forward to these pros.
Alrighty, well, we'll see what you got going for the Pro Late Models here. We get set and ready to rock and roll with them. It's been a great night of racing so far.
Yes, sir. I love this track. It puts on some good racing.
Alrighty, well, we'll see if the high side is where it is or how it plays out for you. Good luck in the big Pro Late Models.
Thank you, sir.
So that was Trevor Guru, our winner here in the Big Block Modifieds. We'll be back with the Regal Wraps and Designs Pro Late Models coming up here. Once again, thank you to Full Throttle Motorsports for sponsoring the 358s and Big Blocks. And we'll be moving forward here. Tell you the Regal Wraps and Designs Pro Late Models here. This Thursday Night Thunder underway here at Coast to Coast Racing Network.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion, trying to be a bit of a
Hiatus. So let's get. Tonight we'll be talking about it.
Outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in an on-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. In the hospital 8 months, and it got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me this last Sunday.
All right, getting ready here for heat number 1. These guys get set to rock and roll here tonight. So starting here in heat 1. Why is this not working? Of course you'll do this to me. Alright, give me a moment here. We're going to see if we can quickly get this up here. SDK just decided, hey, we're not going to work anymore tonight. We try to get things set up here. Here we go. There's the grid for us on my end anyway. Grid is going to be Schatzer here. Or I'm sorry, Rick Main out front. Kurt Schatzer second. Samuel Bachman will roll off third. Anthony Morona fourth. Andy Patton in fifth. Jeff Barker in sixth. And that is all I see out here. We'll see if we have any more here. That is heat number 1. Getting here ready to rock and roll. We get set to rock and roll here with the Regal Ramps and Designs Pro Late Model. Heat number 1. 8 laps to go. We get them rocking and rolling here off of turn 4. Bachman there in third, getting a great jump down here on the inside. Look out, here comes Rick Mayne. He's going to, oh boy, Morano's shooting the gap. Down here out of 2, down here into 3 and 4. Side by side at 218 there, and Kurt Schatzer now there in second as he gets around Bachman. Bachman hanging in there on third. And all kind of single file out now. Look out though, Rick Mayne's trying to get back up there towards the front. Morano, who started fourth due to the invert, is now out front. Now look like Rick Mayne's falling back here some as he battles there with Sam Bachman down here out of the corner and ends up getting shoved to the outside wall. Now he tries to stay off of Rick Mayne. Bachman ends up into the outside wall. They're out of 4. Morano out front there as everybody comes down here in the corner number 3 and 4. Mayne there in 3rd. Barker in 4th. Bachman 5th. Patton back here in 6th. And work off with 2 down that back straightaway once again. Morano hanging on the front, onto the front lead. I do everything it can to kind of hang on to everything. There you see that 218 of Kurt Schatzer working out here in the corner number 1 and 2. Morano out front. Mayne there in 3rd. Barker there 4th. Bachman 5th. Patton there 6th. And on out here through here. I'm hoping we have a second heat. And I'm working off the corner. Morano out front. Here comes Barker. Sam Bachman there in 5th. Patton there 6th. And work out the back stretch. And we see Morano hanging on to the win here, coming off of the corner. Kurt Schatzer 2nd. Jeff Barker will get 3rd. With Bachman there 4th. And we wait here on our heat number 1 results. Yeah, heat 1. Andy Morano with Kurt Schatzer there 2nd. Jeff Barker 3rd. Sam Bachman 4th. Rick Mayne there 5th. Andy Patton there in 6th. Then we move on here to heat number 2, the grid for it. Tim Chapman out there leading the way. Dean Reynolds there 2nd. Watson there 3rd. Trevor Garou 4th. Joseph Grundy there in 5th. Now we see Tim Chapman out there in the 37. You got Dean Reynolds out there in the 79. Garou out there in 3rd. Watson there 4th. Sorry, Watson 3rd. Well, Garou 4th. Keep an eye on Garou. Him and Watson have been at it all night long. Now those two drivers starting side by side here in heat number 2. Lights are off. We're going to be going green flag racing. Tim Chapman and Dean Reynolds better be watching their mirrors, because those two guys behind them are quick here tonight. There we go. Down here through off of corner number 3. Heading back out there to the front stretch. Each driver really trying to hang on to figure out where they're going to start. And there they go. Green flag in the air. We're down and away, down into corner number 1. Garou way up there to the outside already, way up there against the wall as he gets it up to 2nd place. And he gets up here around to get up there. Whoa, Watson almost ends up clipping him there in the back. Garou up there to the top side trying to chase down Reynolds as Reynolds here works off a 2. Garou there in 2nd as he's getting that car dialed in there. Up there against that high side. Watson ended up falling back there to 4th. Trevor Garou there 2nd. Grundy there in 3rd. Tim Chapman entered the pits and is out, it looks like. Looks like Garou's going to try to get there to the back bumper of Reynolds. He gets there. Now can he make a move here as Garou does down? He'll slide it up there. Dean Reynolds down there to the inside. They're drag racing down the backstretch. Up there to the top side, that's Garou. Garou's going to end up undercutting him here in through turn 4, back across the stripe. Side by side, he will pull it up down there, and he will pull the slider here through 2. Get up there in front of Dean Reynolds. Dean Reynolds is going to get the run here down in the corner number 3 and 4. Garou's going to hang them off here as they come out of 4. Down through the front stretch, Garou back out front. As there's front to back there, Trevor Garou with Dean Reynolds. Grundy back here 3rd. Watson ends up back here 4th right now. Watson looks like he's struggling trying to get this Pro Late model to turn a little bit. And they work here off of 4, back down here in the corner number 1 and 2. Garou looking to try to have a sweep on tonight. Dean Reynolds there in 2nd. Joseph Grundy there in 3rd. Watson there 4th. Now we've talked about there at the end of the big blocks, it's not common to have a sweep here on the Thursday Night Thunder. Only a few drivers have it, like 3, maybe 4 drivers have done it. A couple of them are teammates of Garou. He works out of 2 here, back down that back straightaway after coming through the checker flag with the win here. It happened here. All right, here we are live here in warm-ups. So heat number 2, those results are Trevor Garou, Dean Reynolds 2nd, Grundy there in 3rd, Watson 4th, Tim Chapman 5th. So if my calculations are right, and we'll have to wait for the starting grid to really find out, but if my calculations are right, Trevor Garou and Anthony Morano will be starting side by side. So this will be an interesting start to the main event here. We got 11 drivers competing here tonight in the Pro Late Model Division, brought to you by Riggle Wraps and Designs. Hanging here off of turn number 4. Back out onto the front stretch. Trevor Garou there in 2nd, or 2nd fastest so far in the warm-ups. Slowly going to work that car to the outside. He got there. Anthony Morano, the quickest in session right now. And Morano's up there along that top lane as well. Slowly pushing it up towards that outside wall. Minute 40 left to go in warm-ups. These drivers really have put on a lot of great racing tonight. Looking to see what they have here for the Pro Late Model Division. Having said, the Pro Late Model is brought to you by Riggle Wraps and Designs. Full Throttle Motorsports brought you the modified divisions earlier on in the night. Here for the Coast to Coast Racing League's Thursday Night Thunder here this Thursday night. There you see that 007 of Sam Buckman pulls it in. Morano coming down the back stretch here, getting a couple more laps in. You got the 87 of Patton back there. The 79 of Reynolds getting a few more laps. 187 Main sitting there at the base of turn 3. And the Garou up there along the top side. It's going to be interesting to see Morano's best time of the 14.67. Garou's best time of the 14.72. Grundy's is a 14.73. Now the last laps across the line, well, 14.97 for Morano and a 14.99 for Garou. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out here as warm-ups come to a close. Working down here off the back straightaway, flag comes out, warm-ups have ended. Now we'll see our starting grid here. There you see the grid here for this Thursday Night Thunder performance. Anthony Morano there in front. Garou there in second. Schatzer there third. Dean Reynolds will roll off tonight in fourth. Jeff Barker will roll off fifth with Joseph Grundy there 6th. Sam Bachman 7th. William Watson there 8th. Rick Main there 9th. Tim Chapman there in 10th. Andy Patton in 11th. Pace car pulls off. They're down on way down this front straightaway. And Murano out front. Guru up there to the top side. Going to undercut Murano as he heads down here into corner number 3. Dean Reynolds there in 3rd as they head here off the corner. Guru's all over the place there in 2nd. He tries to make sure that he's not going to get run over there from behind. Murano out there in front. Green flag, as we said, underway here. And oh no, looks like the 518, or sorry, no, the trying to figure out here, 218 of Kurt Schatzer ends up around. A driver running around here. There you see it. Dean Reynolds ends up getting into the back of the 218. Come through there. 37 of Chapman trying to not get collected. Watson also getting collected there. Here they come off the... Getting ready for the start. Pace cars off on that backstretch. They're lined up side by side here for the Real Wraps and Designs Dirt Fruit Late Models for Thursday Night Thunder, brought to you by Coast to Coast Racing League here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Unless you're watching over at Flieger Farm TV. Down here in the corner, number 1 and 2. Dean Reynolds there in the middle of the racetrack. Bachman up there to the top side in that 007. Guru down to the bottom side trying to get that thing hooked up to get underneath Murano as they head down here through the front straightaway. Guru there second. Bachman hanging on up there at the top, or up top side. Bachman also hanging on there in 3rd. And Guru looks to the inside coming down here through the front straightaway. Dean Reynolds there in the middle of the racetrack. You got the 518 down there on the bottom side of Joseph Grundy. Guru up there at top. Murano and him exchanging slides here as they work down through the front stretch. Guru going to end up leading the lap. He works down through here, working off a turn number 2, going to slide it up. Murano almost didn't get it cleared as they work down here into turn number 4. Murano slings it up. Here comes Guru back down here to the bottom side. Murano will have that lap. Work down here into corner number 1 and 2. Guru has a race on his hands this race. And Murano now back to the inside down here through turn 3 and 4. Murano slides up. Guru brings it down there on the bottom side. It's going to be Guru leading that lap. And they head down here into corner number 1 and 2. Bachman wanting to get in on this action. He's now below. And the caution flag comes out once again. This time for Kurt Schatzer back here in the 218. There you see Schatzer in the 218. Ends up there, gets that outside wall, ends up, oh man, really into it there. Tough break here for Schatzer. All right, Trevor Guru out here as your leader with Murano in second. That's the way they come across the last scoring grid. Guru really wanting that sweep here tonight. Murano and Bachman trying to put a stop to it. There you are, 3 wide there into the corner as they get stacked up ready for the restart. Thursday night thunder here at Coast to Coast. Off the corner, here they go. Trevor Guru taking the green flag, getting up. Oh no, he touched it. Murano, they work down here into corner number 1. Guru trying to hang on to it. Murano getting a great run there. And ends up getting into the 007. There they work off the corner. Bachman down there on the infield. Gets it going. Murano stuck up against the outside fence. We knew this was going to be a tough race here tonight. Now we see Guru. He ends up coming through the corner. Sliding up. Murano just nowhere really. Ends up coming down and across the nose. Gets stacked up there. And oh man, what a beat up goes on to the 187 of Rick Mayne. Murano getting back around here. You got Rick Mayne coming into the pits. You got the 37 there of Tim Chapman coming into the pits. Mayne on his way out. Looks like Chapman will be on his way out. Guru out there in front. Grundy there in second. 21 laps to go. There we see Tim Chapman on his way out of the pits. We'll see how they do this restart, whether or not it'll be. Looks like lights are off on the pace machine. It's going to be a single file restart. And Guru takes them all up into the fluff. Working down through the back stretch. There's the pace car pulling off. Trevor Guru as your leader. Joseph Grundy there in second. Here we go. Starting here tonight. Trevor Guru on this restart. Out there in front. Look out. Here comes the 007 of Bachman storming down there to the bottom side. Couldn't quite get the groove that he was wanting. Here they head down here through 3 and 4. Bachman right down there on the inside. You see the 23. Watson up there into third. He's trying to find that groove here tonight. Andy Morano ends up back here towards the back after the incident there with Bachman. And he's got the 87 there in front of him, who's really giving him a tough time to get around. And now Morano gets the good go-ahead up there to the outside. And up into the outside wall, had to check up. Here comes the 187 of Rick Mayne around him. Up there towards the front, though, it's still battling out there as Guru and Grundy there, 1-2. Watson there in third. Watson really hoping that he can go and try to find a way to shut Guru down tonight. But Guru really putting on a show as he wants to make the sweep here. He's got 16 laps before he can say he's done it. There in second is Grundy. Grundy looking like he wants to try to make it happen. As he's getting a nose under Guru, but cannot quite make the pass happen. Watson down there on the inside, seeing if he can make something happen off the bottom. Grundy there getting just a little bit underneath them through the corner. Just unfortunate that outside lane's prevailing enough for Guru up there along the top side, and that is where we heard Guru feel comfortable. Now Watson back here in third. Here comes the slide job from Grundy. Grundy going to get up there. Guru ends up going to slide back there. He's going to end up in second right now. Here comes Watson down there to the inside. Guru now second. Grundy there in front. 13 laps to go. Grundy really putting on a show here. Comes up 5 positions from where he started. Trevor Guru falling back in the second, which is where he started. Up in that outside wall, just a tad out of 2. Work here down through 3 and 4. Coming at Guru here, you got Anthony Morano still trying to work his way around. He's got Andy Patton there, and he finally got around. Now he sets his sights on Rick Mayne. But up here towards the front, Watson down there towards the bottom side, trying to see if he can get some sort of run up there on Guru. And Guru's just trying to bide his time to see if he can get down there, and he gets a nose underneath Grundy. Coming down here into corner number 3 and 4. He gets the slide. He'll slide it up. Grundy going to bring it down. But, oh man, what a tight race there to the line. Grundy up to the outside. Here comes Guru back down there to the inside. They're side by side. Here comes Guru once again trying to bite his time. Here, 9 laps to go. 8's going to be 8 as they come across the line. Oh, so close. Grundy down there along the inside. Guru up there to the top side, still drag racing off the corner. Man, oh man, what a race here tonight for the lead. As Grundy slides up, here comes Guru. He's going to go to the bottom side. He will have that lap. That one I could tell. Here comes Guru now up there, up corner number 2. Still side by side. Had to make sure he didn't come too far up as Grundy had to run. And they work here off of 4. Grundy now has the run there off of 4. Guru has to fall back in line, get back up there, try to get some of that momentum built back up as they exchange some laps there. So Guru knows he can get up there, knows he can get around. Question is, does he have time yet? And they work there out of turn number 4, back down here into corner number 1. 5 laps to go. Guru there in second. And they storm down here into the back stretch. Guru way up there into the fluff, trying to get that car to make sure it rotates just enough. Andy Patton has crashed. He's down here into the pits now. Trevor Guru and Grundy still battling it out. 4 laps to go. AJ Guru up there against that outside wall, struggling to try to pull it off here. Now we see Watson down there on the inside. Guru still trying to figure out how he's going to manage to get around Grundy. Watson way up there getting into the outside wall. Guru's running out of time. He's got 2 laps. And if he's going to make something happen, he's going to make it happen next coming lap. So he's got to get himself positioned here as they come out of turn number 4. Down here in the corner number 1. Grundy with the top side. Here comes Guru. He's going to bring it up. He's going to slide it up. That's going to bring Grundy down there to the inside. Here comes Guru. He's going to bring it back down there to the inside. Drag race here off of 4, and it's going to be Grundy with the win. Guru's second. No sweep here tonight. Well, Grundy gets the win here tonight in the Pro Late Models here from Regal Wraps and Design. Trevor Guru there in second. Watson third. Watson once again 1 spot behind Guru tonight. So we'll get with our third place finisher here, William Watson. Good evening, Watson. How's it going?
That's going good, bud.
Well, you got third here in the Pro Late Models. It looked like you struggled a little bit there at the beginning.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to change my force feedback settings whenever I'm swapped between small blocks, big blocks, and Pro Late Models, and I couldn't find it. Like, it just kept pushing, no matter what I did. Finally was able to slick it off. It let the car turn and settle. So after that, I was able to catch back up to everybody.
Oh, you did a pretty good job getting back up here in the third. Putting on a good show here. I don't know exactly what happened there between Morano and Buckman, but something happened where those two kind of got a little bit together. I think that enabled you to get up there in the third as well.
Yeah, I was able to squeeze through there pretty clean. I got lucky pretty much. I just didn't know what was going on. I just stayed in the line. Dino was going to kill me because I saw him coming up, but he just barely missed me.
Well, you made it, yeah, and you got third. You got sponsor shots. Anybody want to thank for getting third here tonight in the Pro Late Models?
Yeah, teammates at FGM, sponsor these shops. New Pro Performance, Scripthex.com, Team Dirt Car Series, Trevor for beating me by 1 position every race tonight. Vortex Graphics, Daggy TV, Coast to Coast, and Youth Broadcast.
All right, our pleasure. And it seems like you have this thing going with Guru where you're 1 spot behind him tonight. We'll see if that changes next week.
Yeah, Dino was talking about every race we're in is me and Trevor side by side pretty much the whole race. It's crazy how consistently we stay near each other.
Yeah, I mean, and you guys put on, it was great racing, especially there at the end. I mean, Guru didn't get his sweep, I'll say that much.
No, I was trying to get up there to break it up for him, but Randy got me out with that one, so.
All righty, well, you have yourself a great night. Congrats on third place tonight.
Thank you.
So that was Watson there in third place. Now we'll get with Trevor Guru, our second place. Good evening there, Trevor. How's it going?
Good, yourself?
Going pretty good. Unfortunately, no sweep for you tonight.
No, it's one spot short, man. This wasn't meant to be, I guess.
Well, it wasn't quite 1 spot. I mean, you were there. You made one heck of a run to try to do it.
Yeah, I gave it all I had, man. It's just one of those deals. I just got done talking to Grandy there, and I told him straight up I wanted to win this one bad, so I was being a lot more aggressive than I usually am, and so yeah, like I said, I wanted to sweep really bad, man, and get my name on that short list of drivers who've done it, but like I said, it wasn't meant to be, and maybe one day.
Yeah, maybe one day. I mean, you got the talent to do it. You've definitely shown that here tonight.
I appreciate it, man. It's not easy to do in this league. It's good drivers night in, night out. So, like I said in my other interview, just to be able to win in this league is feels pretty good. So, came close. 2 wins tonight in a second. Really can't hang your head on that for sure.
No, you had yourself a great night of racing, and I mean, like you said, it just wasn't meant to be here in Charlotte. But who knows? Maybe one track you'll be able to pull off that sweep. But it's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy. It's one of those things. There's a reason why there's only not even a handful of guys who've done it. 2, 3, 4 guys who've actually done it. So it's definitely not easy to do, and came close. Like I said, 2 wins in a second. Can't really be too upset. Congrats to Grandy. Congrats to Bart, Sam, Dean, Anthony. All good runs tonight. Apologize to Anthony. I kind of squeezed him in the wall on a restart there. Didn't realize I was coming up the track, but. Overall, a good night of racing. We'll definitely, take this good momentum into, Monday and Wednesday and Thursday next week.
All right. Well, we'll see what type of momentum you have going into next week's race.
Yes, sir.
You got sponsor shout-outs? Anybody you want to thank for getting that second place?
Yeah, just everyone at FTM for the support, night in, night out, and Dean Reynolds with the Super Dirt Car Series, Sam McConaughey Sets, Expert Installation. KRB Designs, Vertex Graphics, all the sponsors for keeping this stuff going on. Everyone who helps keeps this stuff broadcasted. Really appreciate every single person who behind the scenes at C2C and everyone who puts that money to keep this stuff broadcasted. It's I know a lot of guys, including myself, we like going back and watching and learning some things. So. Really appreciate that, and yeah, that's it.
Kind of like other sports, going back and watching the tapes, right?
Yeah, exactly, man. That's how I treat it. I'll go back and watch the heat, watch the feature, see what I can do different, what I did wrong, what I did right, and watch what other guys are doing too. And it's just that's exactly it. It's a great way to put it. Just like in hockey, going and watching the tape and studying the other team.
Alrighty, well, congrats there on second place, and we'll see what momentum you carry into next week's races.
Sir, thank you, Fleeger. Appreciate it.
All right, that was Trevor Guru, our second place finisher here tonight. We'll get with Joseph Grandi. Good evening there, Joseph. How's it going? You there, Joseph?
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, not a whole lot. Man, you have a tall order there, hanging on to the lead there with Trevor Guru right there on your heels.
I thought I left him enough room up top, but apparently not. And almost threw it away there. I have my tear off on my keyboard. I went to reach over to use my tear off and hit the wall, but fell down and got the win.
I mean, you did a great job getting that win here tonight. You looked really good. I know you started about 5 spots back into the pack from where you finished. So, I mean, you had some traffic to deal with. You dealt with it just fine and come up here and got the win.
Yeah, I'm way more comfortable in a super than a pro. I don't race them a whole lot, but I mean, it ain't too much different than running the supers. Just a lot less horsepower. But yeah, held on. I haven't raced. I think my first one this season with these guys for the pro weight models, so not bad. One race, one win.
Well, it looks like you also had a little bit, you got caught up in something somewhere along the line. It looks like you have a little bit of fender damage on the front end of that machine.
Yeah, I hit the wall coming down the straight. I was reaching over my keyboard to hit my tear-off button because it's not on my wheel, and I just hit the wall reaching over.
Yeah, it's not quite what you want to do, but, I mean, you did it okay. You held on for the win. You had a tough order there, like I said, with Guru right there with you. But you held off. You got sponsors, shout-outs, anybody you want to thank for getting the victory tonight?
Absolutely. I can thank Cadillac Recovery, all the guys over at RMDB Cinch Sports, RTB, Highland Photography, Hinkle Homes, Mad Rabbit, my girlfriend Olivia. Appreciate you, man, for doing this broadcast. All the guys at Coast to Coast.
All righty, well, congrats, and we'll see what momentum this carries into next week for you there, Joseph.
All right, maybe I'll see you there.
All righty, good luck, and congrats. All right, that was our winner here tonight, Joseph Grandi getting the win. Hopefully everybody's enjoyed the show here tonight. It's been one heck of a ride. We'll go ahead and bring up your finishing results here for your main event here for the Pro Late models. Joseph Grande getting that win. Trevor Garou second. William Watson third. Sam Buckman fourth. Dean Reynolds fifth. Jeff Barker there sixth. Anthony Murado seventh. Rick Main in eighth. Andy Patton there in ninth. Tim Chapman there in 10th. And Kurt Schatzer in 11th. That is your finishing order. And I want to thank everybody for coming out and watching here on Coast to Coast Racing Network, along with if you did tune in at all over to Plinker Farm TV, we appreciate you over there as well. Thank you all for a great night. What great racing we had. Look forward to what next week could hold in store. Good night, and thanks again for watching.